Before we begin today's show, today we want to give a big shout out to
Buzz TV. Buzz TV brings you their own spin on Android devices like the Nvidia Shield and the Amazon Fire Sticks, taking software to the next level with their own app helping you stream anything, anywhere. Buzz TV listens to you, the customers, and consistently brings you the latest and greatest when it comes to hardware, software, customer service, and experience right out of the box.
And to find their products, guys, make sure you guys do go to buzztvglobal.com.
Don't forget to click the link in the description below to get yourself the latest Android device right from Buzz TV. With all that being said, let's start the show.
And welcome back to another Beyond the Streams. Man, I feel like I had something in my freaking tongue here. It was random. I felt like a piece of hair just flew on my tongue.
Do you got something you need to get out of your mouth?
I think I do.
You got something you need to say?
Holy crap, that was all jacked up right there. So hope you guys are doing good today. Yeah, today's already a what the hell was that all about?
I don't know. You started with the what the hell, we'll finish with the what the hell.
What the hell? Oh man. So today, as always, we always try to bring you guys some what the hell's happened. We like to do a rewind of the previous month and just go through some stuff and just be like, what the hell happened in freaking October? Go ahead.
These episodes are kind of like a bittersweet for me because they're probably some of my favorite episodes, but I never believe the month is over already. Like I can't believe October's done. Like daylight. Do you guys have daylight savings in California? Yeah. So daylight savings is right now, pretty much, right?
Yep.
Halloween happened. Elections is right around the corner. Like everything is happening fast and slow at the same time. Like 2020 is not going by quick enough, but the months just keep going. It's crazy. It's a what the hell for me.
Yeah. So this month, I'm big into the whole UFC and sports and all that stuff, and I've decided to give it up on some sports just because of some political BS crap that's happening, but that's not here or there yet. But probably one of the biggest fights of the year. Khabib comes back and fought the interim champion, and Khabib didn't look the same when he was fighting, and neither did the other fighter. He didn't look like his normal self either.
Yeah.
But just a quick little story here, because some of you guys probably already know what I'm talking about. So Khabib's dad passed away earlier this year. I think it was in July, maybe August. And it was because of COVID. He was battling with COVID and was trying to survive it, and COVID, took him away. So if you guys don't know, Khabib never really wanted to be an MMA fighter to begin with. It was his dad's dream to do it. And when his dad wanted to become an MMA fighter, he was too old. So he trained his son, and man, did he train his son.
Oh, yeah.
Khabib is man, like, for me, I never really followed the guy much. I did see some of his matches maybe 2 years before he fought McGregor, and I was like, this guy deserves to fight against the best because he's really good. I don't know why he's fighting like the number 4, the number 5, the number 6. It's like, why is he not fighting the top 3 dudes? Like, this guy's that good. And it was out of nowhere. Like, he did fight a couple people, and I'm just like, it's a good fight, but there's some better fighters. So I became a fan. I became a huge Khabib fan right before he fought Conor McGregor, and I forgot who it was that he fought. But one of the moments that I will remember, his late father was he was fighting in the first round, sat him down, and he had this like you could totally tell father son conversation. Yeah. And Khabib looked at him. It was almost like he was kind of getting scolded a little bit, you know. And then Khabib went in there and destroyed the guy, and that was the end of the match. I was like, holy crap, this guy is just nuts, man.
Whoa.
But his dad, I was, you know, I've been kind of like watching how his dad like coaches him and teaches him and trains him. And I was just, you know, I was really sad to hear when I found out that his dad did pass away. And his mom told him, you're done. You don't need to fight no more. You know, your dad's not here. You know, you're fighting because your dad. And he pretty much said, like, you know, I don't want to fight anymore because coming to these matches, I came with my dad. Me and my dad came here as a team. We won as a team. We did everything as a team. So he did one last match. And I thought he was going to do one more because I think his record is 29-0. If he like, I'm like, come on, like as soon as he started talking and he was telling the guy, actually it was before he was talking. As soon as the match was over, like, did you see the match? Did you see how he ended it?
No, man. If I knew that was going to be his last match, I would have tried every possible bit that I could have to watch that because I really like him and his energy. Like he is an entertainer. Yes, he's a fighter, but he's also an entertainer.
Yeah, we need to watch the replay, the whole thing. Watch the whole thing from start to finish. One of the things he did was he was telling one of his trainers, take my gloves off. And I'm just like, he's retiring. The second I saw that, I'm like, he's done. He's out of here. And yeah, it was just he was just so adamant. He wanted to take his gloves off. He wanted to hold them during the interview and drop them when he was done, saying, I'm done. That's it. No more. But oh man, dude, it's so sad. Like for me, I was sitting there and I'm like literally out of my mouth, what the hell is going on here?
That's crazy. How old is he?
I think he's like 32.
He's still in his prime.
He's got, like, if he wanted to go like 5 more years, 6 more years, I could see him going into his 40s and doing it. But the record that he's got, I'm like, dude, like you know, 29-0, and I think in UFC he's 13 or 14-0. I forget what it is, but in his professional career, 29-0. And so I'm thinking, like, dude, just one more, dude. Just give us one more, just to make it 30-0, dude. Like just to hit that 30, because you know how many people are gonna hit that record. Like, can you see anybody even going 20-0?
No, I mean, listen, you're in a ring and you're fighting against anybody who's been training to beat you. Going anything 0 is an accomplishment. It is, because all of them work hard for what they do. They really do.
Yep. Absolutely. And you know, when you put, you know, some people say they don't like him, you know, like his religion. They don't like how he did his whole thing with Conor McGregor. They don't like how he reacted on certain things or anything. For me, I would say he's probably, you know, we can't agree with the same religion. Like it's like saying, like, hey, can we all agree to use the same underwear?
Yeah.
You know? It ain't gonna happen.
or if everyone likes the same color.
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen. And honestly, for me, I thought I like just looking at his persona, how he is just focused. He has respect for everybody. Everybody who comes in, even on this match, you'll see him. He comes around super focused, goes around. He's just, you know, running and moving. You know how they do their jumping jacks or whatever to get all warmed up right there. But as soon as they say, okay, gentlemen, come in, right away, what's up, dude? Like
Mhm.
right away. All right, let's have a good fight.
Well, I think that's the thing too, right? Like he has respect as long as people have respect for him, and that's kind of how that whole thing with Conor McGregor and him came around, because he wasn't getting a lot of respect, him and his crew and his team and all that stuff. So maybe people saw a different light of him because he wasn't getting the respect that he deserved.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was never like, I liked Nate Diaz back in the day. I wasn't like, ooh, Nate Diaz,
Mm-hmm.
Conor McGregor, I'm like, dude, being homeless and his girl taking him in, and well, not his girl taking him in. He met a girl that took him in
Mm-hmm.
and took care of him, and dude brought him from freaking rags to riches, and he worked his butt off. And I'm like, dude, there's so, I don't want to say there's a lot of people out there like that, because there's not. You don't hear too many stories of somebody saying like, I was actually legit homeless, and I didn't have anything, and then I came here and I made a huge career out of myself.
Right.
You do hear a lot of stories where they say, yo, I'm from the Bronx, I'm from the projects, I'm from XYZ, and now I'm a famous football player and this and this. It's like, no, he didn't have a roof, he didn't have food, he didn't have family, he didn't have anything, nothing, absolutely nothing.
Right.
And somehow he made it his way. For me, was with McGregor, I'm going to rant a little bit here. I liked Conor McGregor up until the point that he started going racist with Nate Diaz. And the reason for that was Nate Diaz is Hispanic or Latino, however you want to call it. I'm the same.
Yeah.
Once you start going racist with certain things, I think there's three things that no professional athlete should ever do. They shouldn't talk about your race, especially if you're separate races. If it's two different races going against each other, hell no. Even the same race, you shouldn't do that. But especially if it's different races, you shouldn't do that. The second thing is family. Don't touch their family. Don't talk about them. Don't do nothing. And the third thing, religion. Whatever your religion is, don't bash on the person. Just if you're gonna bash on them, bash on them. Don't bash on their religion, their family, their race. Like for me, when Conor McGregor started to do what Mayweather did, and this is why a lot of people don't like Mayweather, because Mayweather crosses the line on certain points, and even Mayweather has a certain box that he won't crawl out of. McGregor crossed that line, and I remember I was there listening to it, and I'm just like, screw this fool. I'm done. I'm like, I hope Nate Diaz slams this guy, and you know what I mean? And the first fight, Nate Diaz destroyed him. The second fight, McGregor beat him up. But he went so over the top with Khabib, like trying to sell it. And it's just like, why are you trying to sell it, dude? Like, Khabib is an amazing fighter to begin with.
Right.
And I thought it was hilarious when Khabib was beating the crap out of him, McGregor was like, it's just a fight, man. We're just trying to hype it up. We're just trying to hype it up. And I'm just like, dude, smack him again, Khabib. just smack him.
But do you think a certain aspect of it maybe isn't personal and is business, like dirty business? Because you see how you're getting fired up about that whole conversation. There are people that don't necessarily watch the fights for the fighters, but for the drama. Like, drama does bring sales. It brings views. It brings, you know what I mean? Like how you're saying you liked the rags to riches story of Conor McGregor, but then now you're kind of cheering on the people that he's facing because of his attitude, right? Like,
the way I see it is, and this is for anybody out there who loves drama. Would you put up with any man or woman to go to your face and says, your mom is a fill in the blank. Your dad is a fill in the blank. Your grandma is fill in the blank. Your son, your daughter is fill in the blank. Would you put up with that? Would you put up with that? Would you put up with if you had your grandma? I don't know. Whoever your hero is in your family, whoever the person is in your family that you're like my everything. If he or she was standing right next to you, your mom, your grandma, your brother, sister, your son, your daughter, your wife, your husband, your whatever, whoever it is, would you put up with somebody going right in front of you, looking at that person and spitting in that person's face in front of you? Would you say, okay, let's fight? Give me a contract. Let's go do it.
You know, I think a majority of us would probably say that we wouldn't, but I think there's a small percentage that would say they wouldn't, but if the check had enough zeros, they might put up with some words. I said dirty business. I didn't say it was business. Like, to me, I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Okay, so let's just say they said, you know what? You are set for life. For life. Whatever you want, whatever you need, whatever you can think of, you have everything in the world. I'm gonna punch your grandma straight in the nose.
No.
And you can have whatever you want.
No.
Yeah, me neither. Anybody out there listening, what do you think?
Okay, but that was more than just words.
Yes, it's a little punch, but we're talking about for the rest of your life.
See, if it affects somebody else to put me onto a better pedestal, then my answer is always no. Like, it's not about me taking something from somebody else just to make myself better. But if they're like, I'm going to call your brother stupid on national television for $1 million, I'd be like, yo, go for it. I'll call him stupid for you.
Yeah, but it wasn't, I'm going to call them stupid. It was, he went so much deeper than that.
He did. He
went really.
I agree.
That's why I'm kind of like, well, remember, they didn't get, like, MMA fighters, they get a good amount of money, but it's not like they have to keep fighting for them to get a decent amount of money. And if they save it and if they don't blow it, then they could just retire off of it. Like 10 years fighting MMA. If you save, like Khabib has his family taken care of. He made sure his family is good. You don't see him rolling with like McGregor. He walks around with them. Vince McMahon made that walk. When he does that walk, he wears all his suits and everything. You see Khabib dressed good and everything, but not like some of these other fighters. Mm-hmm. Like Khabib is really smart. He's like, no, and you know what? And I'll tell you this, like even with this whole YouTube thing and how much money we make with the work that we put across, like you'll never ever see me like, oh, look at this new 5-story house I just bought, guys. Look at my 20 cars out there. You know what? Forget my 20 cars. Look at my one car that I bought that is about $100,000. No, if anything, I'd be like, cool. Let's pay that pink. Let's pay that pink. Hey, mom, how much is your, like, you know what? Here's a good amount of money for you. You know, I want to take care of my family. I want to be sure that we're good and taken care of. But there's some people out there, as soon as they see just a little bit of money, they're like, ooh, I'm going to get a fill in the blank.
There's one thing that I'll probably show off about, and that's food. Like I like eating good. I can't help it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So if I go to a fancy restaurant, I might take pictures. I might show it off. Food is something that I have never argued with myself about that I'm going to eat. You know what I mean? I want to make sure that I eat anybody that's close to me, anyone that's around me, that we all eat good. That's what's important. You know what I mean? To me, I like eating with people. I like eating good food. I like trying new foods. So, I mean, I have no plans on starving anytime soon. Plate's always big enough for everybody. So here's a question for you, though. Speaking about the plate's always big enough for everybody. Do we have room for another streaming stick with a cloud-based gaming platform? So right now we have Stadia, we have GeForce Now, we have Amazon Luna coming out. There's another one coming to the market. Is the plate big enough for everybody to play in? So now we have Xbox talking about bringing a streaming stick to the market solely designed for streaming and their xCloud. So their xCloud is a cloud-based gaming platform that they're going to allow you to game off of. So now Xbox wants to be a direct competitor against Stadia, Luna, and GeForce.
Oh, shit, dude. Okay. This could be the biggest what the hell when it comes to streaming and gaming sticks, I guess. Dude. Okay. Xbox has a platform.
Yep.
They have a platform. So it's not like they're starting brand new like the other ones, like Luna and Stadia, how you're saying. What I'm curious though is if they're bringing a streaming stick, will this be like a Fire Stick? Would this be like a TiVo, Chromecast, a Nvidia Shield? Will this be exactly like that? How you get certain streaming apps? Can you sideload? Can you? I gotta say the correct term for some people. Can I jailbreak it? To put the KODI and put everything that I want, third party apps. Can I do all that stuff? And then I'm not familiar with the Xbox platform.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing when you have your Xbox and you get your games and you could download your games, it goes to their Xbox cloud. I'm guessing they're going to have that accessible across this device also.
Well, so as of right now, there's not a whole lot of information about it. It really just came out of an interview with one of the people from Xbox and that they're talking about it. So if we were just to take what Xbox can currently do right now, Xbox, you can install things like your KODI, you can install Plex, you can even install IPTV players. So even if they didn't go Android, you could still do those things there, and that's not bad. You know what I mean? You're still getting a lot of content that way. I believe, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but xCloud isn't just an Xbox venture. I think they're also partnered with Samsung. So we got two huge companies that are coming together competing. Xbox has been around for a long time, and they have a big platform, a big community based off of their Xbox Game Pass or their monthly subscriptions or whatever. And if you can port that directly over to a lower cost device, it's kind of like how we talk about in the streaming community. You might have a NVIDIA Shield in your entertainment room, but would you buy an Xbox for every single one of your TVs or a PlayStation for every single one of your TVs in your house? Mm-hmm. But you might want to play in your bedroom or your living room or your basement or your man cave, but you don't always want to take your Xbox up and down and move it all around the house. If they could come out with a dongle or a stick that wasn't as expensive as an actual console, that you could still play through the cloud and pick up where you left off, like a lot of these cloud-based gaming platforms boast about, I think they're onto something. I really do.
Yeah, if it's that what you're saying, you know me, I'm gonna be like, please don't give me 8 gigs. Don't give me an 8 plus 1. Don't do that.
But if everything's playing off the cloud and you don't need to save anything to the actual stick or dongle or whatever they want to call it, what do you think?
Please don't give me an 8 plus 1.
Okay, all right. You win. We're not going to give you an 8 plus 1.
I just don't want an 8 plus 1. Like I get it. If it's going to go, okay, if they were to do all those games are available on from your Xbox to this new stick thing that you can just plug in wherever the hell you want, and then you take your Xbox controller wherever you want because it's Bluetooth.
Mm-hmm.
If you could do that, here's where they can shoot themselves in the foot. If they do an 8+1, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, 8+1, 8 gigs of internal memory, your ROM, with 1 gig of RAM. If they do that, you know how bad of a shot they're putting themselves? Like that's literally saying, don't buy my Xbox for 400, 500, whatever the hell dollars, and just buy this stick for $60 because you'll be able to get your games anyway. That will be such a, I don't know, for like honestly, I think this is what I hope they do. I hope they say, hey, you know what? We're going to give you, because if it's going to be a cloud-based game, obviously you can't store too much. You do have to store bits and pieces of stuff onto your device, or if you don't, some of the stuff for it to read, and you know how it says downloading content, you have to get some content. That's going to be a nightmare to pull.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to pull everything from the cloud specifically, they need to like at least 16 gigs of memory, 4 gigs of RAM. I keep going with this octa-core. Like, they're gonna have to do something with your octa-core. They're gonna have to do something where this device is like, it's a, I don't know, $120. Like, I would match this up with the freaking Fire Cube. I'll be like, you know what? Let's create a stick that's gonna be like a Fire Cube, and give it some power, give it some stuff in there, so that way, because remember, it's all right here. People are gonna think about this. They're gonna say, like, wait a minute, if this is under $100, if I could buy a stick from Xbox, I don't even care what the specs are. If I could buy something under $100 and play the exact same Xbox that I could play on my console that I pay $500 or $400, why in the world am I buying that? And why can I just buy this? And you know, it's like Xbox does this every time they drop a console. Let's see how we could shoot ourselves in the foot today.
Okay. I
Does that
kind
make
of
sense, though?
think I would want to see them like literally coming for the Shield's throat. So you know the $150 dongle?
Hell yeah.
Right. So I mean that's made a statement over like the whole time it's been out. At $150 comes with 2 gigs of RAM, 8 gigs of ROM, and it works well. And I think that Xbox can do the same thing. But what interests me is that these consoles are running AMD GPUs. And I think it would be really interesting to see what or how AMD could create on a budget for one of these sticks or a dongle to compete with that Tegra. Because here's the thing. If AMD can create a Tegra X1 Plus or Pro competitor and not be so stingy about it, does that mean that they could also license it out to Amazon, maybe B-Link? Can we actually see real GPUs and real processors in some of these Android boxes?
Now, Microsoft, they don't have a foot or finger on AMD, right?
Not that I know about.
Okay, so the only problem I see with that, with what you're saying,
Is the price would go up.
price will go way the hell up on everybody. Forget, like, dude, everything will go up. So I don't see that happening. You know what I could see though? I could see Microsoft saying, like, we need to make our own chip. We need to get into this chip market, and not only do we create our own chip, but we make it available for computers, for their own laptops, smartwatches, phones. Like we make our own chip series, which means if they're no longer seeking outward saying like, hey, AMD, or hey, whoever, I whatever, you know, i10, i11, whatever.
Yeah.
If they're just like, let's just do everything in-house. Let's bring all like, that would be nuts if they could say, let's just do all of our graphics cards, our chips, our RAMs, our everything. Everything that we do is 100% our stuff only. Now, if that happened, I could see them doing what NVIDIA's doing with their Shield. I could see them doing that exact same thing and then saying like, hey, you know what? We'll go head to head for NVIDIA. Hey, NVIDIA, guess what? We have a $200 device. Here's the
Xbox. That doesn't happen.
Huh?
I hope that doesn't happen. Okay, so this is why, because it just scares me, right? Because, you know, way back when, the conception of computers, Apple and Microsoft were hand in hand. You know what I mean? They played in the same sandbox, and then they went down two different roads, and you know their views on business was completely different, and you saw it manifest as they went down and they created the two different companies. And Apple wanted everything to be in-house, and Microsoft had no issue reaching out to other companies, partnering with them, working with other companies, all that kind of stuff. It kind of scares me if Microsoft was to go around and probably buy up all these companies like they're starting to do and turn into an Apple. That kind of scares me. I like the idea of being able to do everything in-house, but it just scares me to kind of think of the Apple mentality where it's all me or nothing. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, as a business standpoint, it scares me a bit. As a consumer, it would probably be beneficial as a consumer, but as a business standpoint, I'm a little scared about that idea.
You know what's interesting too is you know, I'm talking about mixing. You know, someone's gonna say like, oh, Microsoft doesn't own iPhones. I didn't say that. I'm just saying, what if they combined all this stuff together, because iPhone's doing a lot of the stuff already. But when you have Windows, when you put Windows in it, you have Microsoft in there. You know, so what I'm saying is what if they created all their own stuff and said, you know what, we don't have to like sure, let's continue to do Windows 10. Let's continue to do Windows next level. The next, whatever that's going to be called.
The next Windows.
The next Windows. You know what I mean? But what if Microsoft said, we are going to build a whole separate division away from Windows to compete against ourselves? We're going to have the Apple competitor. Something where let's just say Apple continues doing their iMacs, iPhone, iSmack, whatever the hell, something. And then you have the computer, the PC, where you can build whatever you want off of it. And let's just say Microsoft says, we're going to do something so exclusive that it's going to be just like iPhone or an iPad or
whatever the direct competitor is in that market. So if it's NVIDIA, if it's Apple, if it is whatever, right? But I mean, maybe they've learned from their mistakes trying to come out with Windows phones and they got burned so hard. They're like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, with all that being said, we also got this Xbox. What the hell are you guys doing? They came up with a refrigerator, Xbox fridge. If you're watching this on good old YouTube, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look.
What?
This is a fridge.
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want it.
No. This is another YouTuber that Xbox sent a fridge. It kind of looks kind of cool, I guess. Series X 1 TB SSD.
That's huge.
It is massive. So they finally got it out. They finally got this thing out. Look at this. It's a legit fridge.
Oh my God, I like it.
And this is like it's crazy. I don't want to play the video as another YouTuber, but yeah, she pretty much went in there, and let me see if I could just play like a small little clip of it. Look, the little logo here turns on, and they're all like gooeyed over it, like it lights up. And then look at this. Look at that. The inside is green, just like an Xbox.
Yo, I'd put that in my room.
I don't know, man. This is iJustine.
Oh yeah.
She's got about 6.7 million subscribers. The video, if you guys are interested, is called Xbox Series X Fridge Unboxing. I saw this a couple days ago, and I'm like, okay. For the hardcore Xbox people, I think this would be kind of cool. I think if PlayStation had a fridge similar to this, I probably would be geeking out too. I'd be like, oh my God, you know? But at the same time, I'm thinking like, it's just a fridge.
but that's the thing, right? Because there's no personal ties to that brand, it is just a fridge. And that's where that's a great conversation. You could have a whole show just on what is brand value. Would you pay extra for a brand? I know for my son is Xbox or die. Like, he would think I'm the coolest dad in the world if I owned an Xbox fridge, right? But in my head, I'm not like, I like Xboxes. I've always owned, an Xbox, but I'm not a huge gamer. For me, if they told me you can get an Xbox branded fridge, or you could get this smart home teched out LG or Samsung where it can give you your full inventory and all this stuff, and you could write your list down of all your shopping stuff, and it had, the A word or the G word enabled, and they were the same price. As an adult now with a little bit more responsibilities, I would go with the smart home tech. But my son all day would go, I will live in that fridge, Dad.
Okay, so right now, just thinking out loud, literally just thinking out loud. If I'm thinking about the fridge that I got downstairs, so I got a Samsung. It's a smart fridge. Of course, I got to go over the top on everything, and it's got a screen. Mm-hmm. It's got a giant screen. I get to play and do all kinds of crap on it. Got some pictures on there. It's clean. I don't have to get all these magnets to hold everybody's pictures up. I could just send it to the cloud, goes in there, then I can just organize it, and then I can just flip the pictures whenever I want. What would have been cool with this thing? Yes, the little logo up there is cool. Yes, the light inside is cool. I could do the same thing with my fridge, and I could do even one step further. I could be playing on my PlayStation and be on my fridge. I have my fridge connected to my TV. Mm-hmm. So if I'm over there in the fridge and I'm like, hold on, I'm playing Fortnite. I gotta go to. I'm hungry. I gotta go to the fridge real quick. Take my remote over there.
That's pretty.
And I'm watching my fridge still playing. If they had a screen, I think it would have been different.
Okay, so here's the thing. I think they just consulted fridge people and not Xbox fans when they built this fridge. Because speaking as a gamer, what would have been nice is, yes, a screen, but showing which one of your friends is active right now. Think about it. You walk into your house, you go grab a drink. Oh, Rohas is on right now. I better jump on my TV. Maybe showing your gamer scores, showing some more game stats that get you excited, things that you check your Xbox on a daily basis, but don't necessarily use it specifically for gaming. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But just look at it. Like I think we talked about how it looks like a trash can. Now I'm not going to be able to get this picture out of my head. It's going to look like a fridge. If anybody has an Xbox, just put a little tiny handle on it. And it's going to look like a fridge.
You want me to run over and grab my Xbox? I'll run over and grab my Xbox.
Look at it. I think it's hilarious. I think it's hilarious. It's like a little baby. You see the little Xbox right here on the side.
Yeah.
It's tiny, and then of course this thing's huge, but it just looks her face.
But realistically, we could do this to any black fridge. We could put green lights in a fridge if we wanted to.
Exactly. You know how much this thing probably cost? I wonder if she's got a link in here. Nope, no link in there. Dang it. Yeah, I think.
Listen, the packaging on that fridge was more expensive than most people's fridges.
Absolutely. Yeah, the packaging on that thing was, for one, the packaging was twice the size of that fridge.
I thought it was the fridge. I thought it was a commercial fridge.
I thought so too when I first saw it. I'm actually glad you said that, because I actually said the same thing when I first saw it. But I was super stoked. Like when I first saw this, I'm like, dude, for one, I was thinking this is gonna be huge. It's gonna be a big old commercial thing. They're gonna bring it out. It's gonna have some kind of screen on there, and I was thinking like it was gonna be like a brand new type of fridge. The size of that box, I keep saying if because a lot of people have fridges in their garages. Right now I'm working on my garage. I'm working and fixing it up and doing stuff, and I want to have a fridge and a freezer. How cool would it have been if they would have had? I know when you open it up, the fridge is divided in half. Sometimes you'll have freezer on this side and then fridge on that side. I'm like, give me a commercial one like this, like the size of the box, not the actual fridge, the size of the box where it looks like it's a double fridge. And you have one side all fridge related stuff, the other side all freezer related stuff. And what would have been even sweeter if they had some kind of way to put your drinks in there and an option to add a keg.
A kegerator. Yo, dude, check this out. You ready for this? You ready to patent this idea?
Go for it.
Let's do this. We're going to come out with mini fridge kits. Okay. You're going to have the option for skins. Okay. So you know how you have like skins for your phones and stuff like that? You can pick any design you want. Right? You want it to be an Xbox fridge. You want it to be a PlayStation fridge, a Gears of War, God of War, Mouse of War, whatever you play. I don't care. You pick the design. We'll send you the skin for it, and then you layer it on like a decal, right? And then we'll actually we can just ship it out as kegerators, and we can have accessories. So you can add what other color light you want to it. You can add a cup holder if you want to, maybe a wireless charger, and it can all attach to the sides of the top, and it will not cost you an arm and a leg because it's whatever you want. It's modular.
Yep. That'll be cool.
I think that would be a hit, man. You know how many kids, gamers, young, old, adults that love listen, I barely ever play my Xbox, and Gears of War is one of my favorite things. I seen a controller, and I don't even know the last time I played Xbox. I picked it up. I was like, I love Gears of War, so I'm buying it. If you showed me a refrigerator that had a Gears of War skin on it, a mini one, I'd be like, yo, I'm putting that right beside my bed. For real. You don't need to go out and buy a whole new fridge for that. You could just sell them a skin.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I don't know. I don't know if they're actually going to sell this thing. I don't know if this was just a meme
Marketing.
or a prank or marketing of some sorts, or I don't know. But hey, if Burger King is in the market right now to push the PS5s, I guess why can't the fridge market too?
Oh my God. Imagine like McDonald's. McDonald's comes out with their little hamburger boxes shaped like PlayStations or Xboxes.
Hamburglar.
Oh. Crazy.
Yeah, this is awesome. Yeah, so So I'm sorry that we kind of ranted a little bit on just a couple of topics this time, but stay tuned to part two. Part two, we actually got a couple things that we wanted to discuss also, but of course, sometimes we get a little bit carried away with some of these topics. Hey, the good thing about it though is that Next Level did not have a brain meltdown like last.
Man. That was a big one though. That was like breaking news.
Yeah, last month was just horrible. Last one was like ridiculous, but yeah, this month's a little bit easier. I think for me the biggest heartbreaker was of course Khabib retiring. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh man, but yeah, stay tuned to part two. We got a couple things we want to bring up. There's a couple things here. Some new things are coming back. Actually, some old things are coming back, as I should say. I don't want to say too much, but stay tuned for part two. And we're gonna save some good stuff over there for that one. So anything else you want to add before we are out of here?
Man, these episodes, it feels like we talk about less topics, but I think that people are really starting to get what they want from us. They want our personal opinions on things. And if we just keep going topic after topic, it's hard to really give a real personalized opinion, right? And people like listening to us while they're working and stuff like that. So I think it's really cool that we can really go so in depth and get each other fired up on these topics and spin them in so many different ways. And if anybody steals my idea about putting decals on refrigerators, I'm coming for you. I'm just saying.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. So with all that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. We will be back with another what the hell. All right, guys. You guys take care of each other.
Peace.
Peace.